Before we get into today's edition of Just the Truth, Mike Lindell sent me a note yesterday. He has a special for the 6-piece towel set, $25 when you use promo code Joey. Just go to mypillow.com, use promo code Joey. You'll get the $25 offer on the 6-piece towel set, and I promise you, these will be the most comfortable, the most absorbent towels that you own. mypillow.com, use promo code Joey, get the 6-piece towel set for just $25. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. Welcome into this special edition of Live from Milwaukee, broadcasting from the 2024 Republican National Convention. We're on the set on Radio Row in the Panther Arena, adjacent to the Fiserv Center, where Republican delegates from across America started arriving yesterday to nominate Donald J. Trump as their candidate to be the 47th president of the United States. Boy, what a weekend we've had. New details being released about the attempted assassination of the 45th president in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday at a campaign rally. We have a full update for you. President Biden addressed the nation from the Oval Office, calling on all sides to lower the temperature in our politics. And the man who was killed at a campaign rally for the former president is being hailed as a hero for taking action in his last moments to protect his family. And who was Thomas Matthew Crooks? And what do we know about Trump's attempted assassin? We'll cover the details we know so far and talk about the big question. How did this happen? How did a 20-year-old man manage to climb upon a rooftop with a long rifle and almost assassinate a former president?
I told you we'd be back.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
It's Joey Hudson.
I wanted to name it the Joey Hudson Bill, but, they don't allow you to put names on bills. But I wanted to call it the Joey Hudson Bill because I know that one's been near and dear to you for a number of years.
That's how it's done. Let your voice be heard.
And the truth shall set you free.
Here's Joey Hudson.
What a weekend for everyone who was watching this take place live. You'll never forget where you were when President Trump was shot. Then, as we were horrified, typical Trump, he got up, wanted to be sure that the world knew that he was okay, as he raised his fist in defiance and was seen saying, "Fight, fight, fight," as the crowd erupted into chanting, "USA, USA, USA." So here's what we saw. As Trump was speaking at his campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday, chaos erupted after loud shots could be heard through the crowd. And you just knew something wasn't right, didn't you? Many of you probably were watching live, like I was. As supporters began to scream, Trump could be seen grabbing his ear, with Secret Service members immediately leaping on the stage to guard the former president. As the shots ceased, service members could be heard on their mics initiating the green light to move Trump to his motorcade vehicle, which was just off of the stage area. I've heard some of the radio communications that were being exchanged. You could hear the Secret Service member saying, "Ready, move, up, move," and another saying, "Sir, get ready, sir, get ready." And as the service members could be seen helping Trump get up, the former president could be heard asking to grab something as the guards used their bodies to shield Trump. And if you watch the replay, and the microphone was right there where this was all taking place, you could hear President Trump saying, "I need my shoe. Let me get my shoe." And as they began, Trump could be heard stating, "Wait, wait, wait." And that's when he looked to the crowd and raised his fist. And that's the iconic photo that we have seen hundreds and hundreds of times over these past 48 hours or so, of him with his fist in the air, blood on his face, and Secret Service surrounding him. And as supporters loudly cheered for Donald Trump as he appeared to be mouthing "fight," as he continued to pump his fist into the air before being taken to his vehicle and rushed to the hospital. Following the attack, Trump released a statement on his Truth Social account thanking law enforcement for their service, extending his prayers for the supporter who was killed, which is just a sad day that someone cannot go to a public rally, to a political campaign rally, and do it safely. That's where we've come in our country's history. Trump wrote, I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. And he's right, it is, isn't it? It is just absolutely incredible. The former president stated that he had been shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my ear, he said. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America, Trump wrote. National syndicated political reporter Selena Zito had talked with the president just prior to the rally starting and was out front near the stage. She was set to interview the president after the rally. She was going to be traveling back to Bedminster with him. She had a front row seat to the horror. She joined America Reports on Fox News yesterday to recount the horrible moment when the former president was shot during this campaign rally.
But I was about 3 feet away from him with my daughter and with my son-in-law. And when you just heard the pop, 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 and the president, you could see the just this sort of red streak on his face. But he didn't have a crumbling effect. You know, they often say when people see a traumatic event that it goes in slow motion. They're absolutely right. And so I immediately saw the law enforcement surround him. They formed the protective shield around him. They took a protective stance, and they had him go down. He did not fall down. And then they made sure everything was all clear. I can hear everything. I can hear the president say, "I need my shoes. I need my shoe." And then the president stands and he says, fight, fight, fight. I think he actually said it more than 3 times. And he raises his fist, and I'm watching this. I'm right there. And what I thought in that moment it is that he was trying to, and I think presidents intuitively do this. He wanted people to know it's okay. We're okay. You know, he wanted to project strength. Because in that moment, you don't want to feel as though your country is vulnerable. Your president isn't okay. And so I think he did a very effective job in that moment of doing that. The instincts kicked in, and he made sure to let people know that he was okay. That really struck me. Then they brought the president down again in a protective stance. They're all around him. He goes past me. Someone is holding his hat, and it falls to the ground right beside me, and then they usher him into the motorcade. That wasn't a Secret Service gentleman. That was actually one of his campaign advance team members, and I will be forever grateful the sort of protection and worry that he felt. I mean, he was laying on top of me for a good 5 minutes.
Again, that was the first-hand account from Selena Zito, a nationally syndicated political reporter who was set to interview President Trump immediately following the campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday. So what should we expect this week? Former President Trump told an outlet that he has completely rewritten the speech that he had planned to give at the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee, where I'll be all week. In a recent interview with the Washington Examiner's Selena Zito, the lady that I was just talking with you about, Trump said that his new speech will focus on uniting Americans after Saturday's shocking events. He said the speech I was going to give on Thursday was going to be a humdinger. Had this not happened, this would have been one of the most incredible speeches. Honestly, it's going to be a whole different speech now, the president said. Instead of focusing on attacking President Biden and his policies, his new speech will reportedly aim to bring the country together. He said, this is a chance to bring the whole country, even the whole world together. This speech will be a lot different than it would have been just 2 days ago. Now, last night, President Biden addressed the nation from the Oval Office, saying that the attempted assassination of former President Trump is forcing Americans to take a step back and calling on all sides to lower the temperature in our politics.
My fellow Americans, I want to speak to you tonight about the need for us to lower the temperature in our politics. And to remember, while we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors, we're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're a fellow Americans. We must stand together. Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back, take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke with him last night. I'm grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was killed. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter, a hero, sheltering his family from those bullets. We should all hold his family and all those injured in our prayers. Earlier today, I spoke about an ongoing investigation. We do not know the motive of the shooter yet. We don't know his opinions or affiliations. We don't know whether he had help or support or if he communicated with anyone else. Law enforcement professionals, as I speak, are investigating those questions. Tonight, I want to speak to what we do know. A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America.
More from the 2024 RNC convention from Milwaukee up next. Soon going to be 4 years ago that I started my journey with PhD weight loss and nutrition. I lost 30 pounds pretty quickly, I might add, and I've been able to maintain that for almost 4 years now. It'll be 4 years coming up in July. If this is the year that you have decided that you're going to get healthy, that you're going to lose that weight, that visceral fat that's so damaging around your waist, then now's the time to start. Let me encourage you to make that call today. 864-252-4925. Set up your initial consultation with PhD Weight Loss and Nutritionist. Boy, am I glad that I met Dr. Ashley Lucas 4 years ago and that she got me on the right path to getting healthy. You're going to be able to do things that you may have thought you'd never be able to do again. Play with the kids, the grandkids, be able to hike and walk and maybe play a full 18-round hole of golf and be able to do it and not get so winded. Because when you take that excess weight off, you're just going to feel better. You're going to be able to focus. You're going to be able to sleep better. Your overall health is just going to be improved. 864-252-4925. Call, set up your initial consultation. Find them online at myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition, the official partner of the Clemson Tigers. Hope you'll join the conversation today. 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Send your comments to the Furman Ford text line. You can leave a quick voice message, and your emails are always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Continue today's special show from Milwaukee, broadcasting from the 2024 Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. We're set up on Radio Row in Panther Arena, just next door to Fiserv Center, where Republican delegates from across America started arriving yesterday to nominate Donald Trump as their candidate to be the 47th president of the United States. Glad to have you in. Your comments are welcome on our text line. You can send me a quick email, joey@joeyhudson.com as well. So President Trump will officially become the GOP nominee for president at this week's Republican National Convention. The four-day event starts today, as a little bit later today. Delegates will start coming in for the official business of the convention. This just 2 days after a gunman opened fire at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania, attempting to assassinate the former president. Rally attendee Corey Comparator, 50, was killed. Two others identified as 57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Copenhaver were wounded. The shooter, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was killed by a Secret Service sniper, and we have some additional information about the attempted assassination a little bit later. The attack was put federal, state, local law enforcement officials on an even higher alert heading into the convention this week, and I got to tell you, getting in this morning was not easy. It never is. There's always a lot of security at an event like this, but because of Saturday's events, of course, everybody is a lot, they're just double checking everything, as they should. Multiple law enforcement officials told media outlets that they have expanded the perimeter here in the Milwaukee area at the RNC, and they've created additional buffer zones around the multiple facilities where we'll be. Now, the layout is this. The Fiserv Center is the big arena where the delegates will hold their nightly meetings and other meetings throughout the week. But this is the center where you will see the speakers every night. And there's a whole list of speakers. We're going to go over those in just a few minutes. But that's the public part that you will see. But there's a lot going on all around this area in multiple other locations that you do not necessarily see. For example, the Panther Arena, where we're located, where all the media is set up, it's an arena of its own that is adjacent to Fiserv, and there are literally thousands of media set up here doing our shows this week. So when you see a Fox News report and some of the other media that you'll be hearing reporting this week, they're in the Panther Arena right here where we are on Radio Row, Media Row, or whatever you want to call it, and it is buzzing already. Now, yes, it's early in the morning here, and things will pick up throughout the day, but we have seen a much more extended security presence. The FBI, Secret Service, local law enforcement agencies sent a joint threat assessment to law enforcement officials in anticipation of the convention kicking off today. You know, there's a lot of questions on what was going to take place. Donald Trump immediately, though, let it be known that he was coming to Milwaukee as he had planned to do, and to not pause, to move forward, that we could not let this gunman try to interrupt what we set out to do this week. So what happens here? There's about 2,400 delegates from all around the country that come together, and this is where it will become official. We've known Donald Trump was going to be the nominee for quite some time now, immediately following the primaries. But this is where those delegates will actually cast their vote and make it official. In alphabetical order, states announce how many delegates they have delivering to each candidate, and state party rules affect how delegates may vote during the convention. But the vote's considered a formality, again, because Trump clinched the nomination back in March when he had the total of 1,125 delegates that he needed to become the presumptive nominee. Trump earned 2,243 delegates by the end of the primary process. He's expected to officially accept the nomination for the third time. He won it in 2016, won it again in 2020. And, of course, that will be Thursday night when all eyes will be on this arena and Donald J. Trump. Besides all of the pageantry that you'll see, the Republican Party will adopt a new platform that has created quite a stir. It has softened the language on abortion and says that the issue should be determined by individual states. The platform also proposes building a missile defense shield over the U.S. and promises tax cuts and mass deportation of people who are here in our country illegally. Of course, as I mentioned, this convention is taking place over a wide area of Milwaukee here. Each delegation has their delegation in a hotel. For example, all the South Carolina delegates are staying at the same hotel. They have meetings there throughout the week. The various committees are meeting in different convention centers around the city. So Milwaukee is just the place to be. Now, Milwaukee is not really a red area. Wisconsin is not a red state. So Republicans chose this site hoping to maybe turn that tide, to make Wisconsin a red state again this year. We'll see. Republicans, again, selected the location back in 2022 after former President Donald Trump narrowly won Wisconsin in 2016 before losing it in 2020 to President Biden by a very similar margin. So who will be speaking? Who will you be seeing here in the evenings during the public sessions? The RNC and the Trump campaign released a list of speakers for this week's convention. We have the list. It's been circulated here on Media Row. You're going to be hearing from lawmakers, television personalities, members of the former president's family, among others. Names like Tucker Carlson, Vivek Ramaswamy, House Speaker Mike Johnson are on the list, which also includes a number of Republican senators, Senate candidates, and representatives. And one surprise that we did not think we'd be hearing from, but it was announced after Saturday's attempt on Donald Trump's life, Nikki Haley has been issued an invitation. Now, you may recall that just this past week, Nikki Haley released her delegates. She had earned 97 delegates during the Republican presidential primaries. Last week, Haley released all of her delegates and urged them to support Donald Trump, saying that it was now a time for party unity. She made it clear, though, that she had not been issued an invitation and would not be attending this week's convention. Well, that all has changed now, and the reports are that it's because of what happened on Saturday, the attempt on President Donald Trump's life. Trump has made it clear that now is a time for unity, and the story is that he issued an invitation to Nikki Haley. She'll be speaking to the convention on Tuesday night.
Hope you'll join the conversation today. 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Send your comments to the Furman Ford text line. You can leave a quick voice message, and your emails are always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Whether you're replacing a broken appliance or maybe you're just upgrading, you're totally remodeling the kitchen, when it's time to get those new appliances, when you're ready for them, you don't want to have to wait weeks or even months to get started using them, right? Well, that's not the case when you shop with my friends at Discounted Appliance Warehouse. With over 11,000 square feet and 1,500 appliances at any given time, you can buy today and use today quite often. I'm talking about shopping with my friends at Discounted Appliance Warehouse in Pickens. It's worth the short drive over to Pickens. Jeff, Johnny, Kyle, the whole team over there, they'll take good care of you. They have an award-winning service department, expert installation, extended warranties, and at Discounted Appliance Warehouse, they treat you like family. You're more than just a credit card swipe to all the team over there. Discounted Appliance Warehouse, they're proud to offer Speed Queen, the only washer and dryers with manufacturer's warranties that cover parts and labor. You owe it to yourself if you're looking for a new appliance to head over to Pickens to Discounted Appliance Warehouse online at dawpickens.com, dawpickens.com. So who is Thomas Matthew Crooks, and what do we know about President Trump's attempted assassin? The FBI has identified this young man. He's 20 years old, from western Pennsylvania, as the person who attempted to assassinate former President Trump at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday as the nation watched on. Crooks reportedly shot Trump from a rooftop perch about 130 yards away during this rally in this small area of Pennsylvania, striking the upper part of President Trump's right ear while the president was speaking to rally-goers ahead of this week's Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee, where I'm broadcasting from today. One attendee was killed. 2 others were injured during the incident. Crooks was shot dead by the Secret Service. The victims, again, just a sad, sad day when you can't attend a rally of a president whom you support and fear for your life. And that's exactly what Saturday's event has done. It has made Americans pause and think, is it safe for me to go out and support my president? And maybe that's part of what this is all about. It's very early in the investigation. This could be an isolated incident. This could be this young man, this 20-year-old, who, for whatever reason, just thought that he would take Donald Trump out. Or it could be a bigger conspiracy. We don't know yet. There's more that we don't know than what we do know. Crooks was from Bethel Park, which is a Pittsburgh suburb. It's about an hour south from where the assassination attempt took. He reportedly graduated from Bethel Park High School in 2022. He is one of nearly 24 students from the school to earn a $500 STAR Award from the National Math and Science Initiative, according to public records. An online recording of his graduation ceremony shows him walking the stage to minimal applause, briefly posing with a school official, this according to the New York Times. I mean, he looked to be your average high school student. No record of him being in trouble previously. A search by Fox News revealed that Crooks would have turned 21 years old this September. He had no reported criminal or traffic citations, no reported bankruptcies, liens, or foreclosures, anything that you can find when you do a public search. Just nothing there about this young man. Now, interestingly enough, he
is a registered Republican in Pennsylvania, according to voting records. But he only participated in the November 8th, 2022 state election due to his age. Records show that he made a $15 donation to Progressive Turnout Project, which is a Chicago-based political action committee that supports Democrat candidates for public office and claims to advocate for Key D. Now, I don't know what this group is. Very little public information about this group and what they try to do. The FBI said that, of course, it's going to continue to investigate Crooks and any information that it can obtain. They're asking the public to come forward with any information you have on this young man. The FBI, in their statement, said this remains an active and ongoing investigation. Anyone with information may assist with the investigation is encouraged to submit photos or videos online at fbi.gov #Butler or call 1-800-CALL-FBI. They're wanting information. And look, with all of the video that was made that day, and it was just amazing. Let me digress here for a moment. As I watched this take place over and over again, I'm probably like you. Many of you probably watched it, and you've watched it, and you've rewatched it. You played that video over and over again, just as all the media outlets have done since it happened on Saturday. And you see different things every time. I mean, one of the things that first occurred to me, and you may have seen this, the video that has been played many times shows when the president was taken down by the Secret Service, and there's a guy right behind him with this like cap on, and you can see he's like in a stance, and he's looking in all directions. You see him looking to the right, to the left, to the center. It's like he's looking for this guy. Not afraid. Everybody around him's hitting the ground. They're falling down. He's looking for the assailant. The other thing that popped in that I noticed, there's a lady right near this gentleman who has a white cell phone, and she's videoing the whole thing. And again, with everybody hitting the ground, they're falling to the ground. She is standing there with her. She never stops taping the events. I'd love to see what she ended up doing because she was right there on the first row, and she has some great video of what took place. And I'm sure we'll see that eventually. She'll probably sell it to someone. But it's just amazing to me, the different reactions of people. So, as you can imagine, security experts are questioning why the building whose roof served as the shooter's perch for this assailant, how he was able to get on this roof, and why Secret Service had not already checked this out. Kevin Malloy, he's a former retired special agent with the State Department, told Fox News it's a no-brainer. Anybody with a security mindset looked at this and goes, what were they thinking? Why was no one there? And it's a valid question. Again, it was outside of the security parameter. I understand that. But as the diagrams that I've seen, he was about 130 yards away from the president. That's not a very long distance. And obviously, he was able to graze the president's ear, came so close. I mean, any change in what happened that day, a split second could have caused a different outcome. Thomas Matthew Crooks fired his weapon from the rooftop, again, 130 to 150 yards away. Security professionals say they're baffled as to why the building, which seemed to pose such an obvious threat, had not been secured. Again, yes, it was outside of the perimeter, but still close enough that a sniper, as he did, could cause harm. Malloy said, for an elevated shooting platform within 130 to 150 yards of the podium to not be posted or guarded by a policeman or Secret Service person, or at least access to that platform be restricted, is a clear fundamental failure of the most simple, rudimentary aspects of a security advance. The security advance is where it all happens. That's where you do your planning. You lay down your requirements for what is needed to secure the venue. Now, again, it's easy to second guess. It's easy to be the the backseat driver on something that's already taken place. And I'm not condemning the Secret Service, but there are a lot of questions, and I can promise you they will be looked into. Normal presidential advance protocol involves Secret Service leadership reviewing and approving security plans, just like what we've seen here in Milwaukee. What I saw as I was coming in very early this morning, and the perimeter that they have established around Fiserv Center here, where delegates will be coming in later this morning and start the official proceedings of this 2024 Republican National Convention. Hours after this shooter attempted to assassinate the former president, experts have called into question the actions taken by the Secret Service. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle, the 27th director of the Secret Service, was appointed by President Biden to lead the agency in 2022, making her only the second woman ever in history to lead the agency. And there's a lot of questions being asked of this lady. There's been a lot of discussion about her DEI stance, and some believe that she has weakened the agency because of some of the hires that she's made because of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Again, I can promise you there'll be a lot of talk about this in the coming weeks and the coming months. Do you think that they did their job on Saturday? Yes, they got him out alive. But could this have been avoided?
Hope you'll join the conversation today. 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Send your comments to the Furman Ford text line. You can leave a quick voice message, and your emails are always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Speaking of the Furman Ford text line, it's never been more important to support locally run businesses owned by people who actually live here in the upstate. Let me take a minute to talk with you about our friends at Furman Ford. If you're looking for a new vehicle, maybe a great pre-owned vehicle, one you can trust, or maybe you're looking to order that special vehicle. Either way, if you want a new one, a brand new one, or a pre-owned that you can trust, the folks at Furman Ford, they're there to help you. Their name is on the sign because their name is on the line, because every single transaction is important to them. Jim Furman, Matthew Furman. They do business the right way. When you stop by, when you give them a call, or maybe when you just send them a quick email, you're always going to have access to a member of the Furman Ford family. And by the way, they also offer great service, and you're not going to have to wait weeks and weeks to get it done. And you do not have had to purchase your vehicle at Furman Ford. Doesn't even have to be a Ford. They service all makes and models. Visit my friends at Furman Ford online at furmanford.com, furmanford.com. Live from Milwaukee in the 2024 Republican National Convention. What a week we have in store for you. Hope you'll keep it here each day, as we will give you the most up-to-date information that's happening right here at the Republican National Convention, where on Thursday we'll see Donald Trump give his acceptance speech. Of course, the buzz around here is who's going to be the vice president. Love to get your comments. Who do you think it's going to be? On the text line, Jennifer says, "Hey, Joey, Trump lives to fight another day." All caps, exclamation. Yes, he does. Look, the man is amazing. You have to give him that. And he never forgot who he was. Even in the chaos, he wanted you and I to know that he was okay. That's the most amazing part of this whole thing. Because, and I thought about this, and this is not to be critical of Joe Biden. I think there's a time for that, and we'll get back to the comparing and the contrasting the candidates. This week is about unity. I was glad to hear the president say what he said. Whether he means it or not, we'll see. And it evidently, obviously, had an effect on Donald Trump, as he has said that he has totally rewritten his acceptance speech on Thursday. And probably one of the most amazing things that has come out of this is evidently he had a change of heart concerning former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who had not planned to be here this week. Now she's going to be speaking tomorrow night. And President Trump, according to reports, said that after Saturday, he wants the party united.
That's what Nikki Haley said last week when she released her 97 delegates and said, vote for Trump. I'm not going to be there, but vote for Trump. Well, she's going to be here tomorrow. According to a change in plans, Nikki Haley has been added to the agenda. She'll be speaking from the podium tomorrow evening. You'll be able to see her addressing the Republican National Convention from the Fiserv Center right here where we're broadcasting from this week. So we'll see. But the thing that I will never forget is how in the middle of chaos, with blood running down his face, Donald Trump wanted you and me and the world to know that he was okay. He, you can hear him in the radio, on the Secret Service radio talkback, where he's saying, wait, guys. And he pauses, he raises his fist high in the air, and you could see him saying, fight, fight, fight. And that's what many of you have been texting and emailing about over the weekend. Yes, Jennifer, Trump lives to fight another day. Jennifer says, have a great week in Milwaukee. Watch your step. Trump lives to fight another day. Yes, Faye says third world has been brought in illegally through the open border, so we've become third world in actions, praying for President Trump and all those attending the RNC. And that's what we do need to do as well. As Christians, we need to be praying this week. I have a dear friend in Spartanburg, South Carolina, Alexa. And when we were on our the Patriot Alaskan cruise a few weeks ago, she texted me and she said, not going to bother you every day, but I want you to know when you receive a heart from me each morning, you know that I'm praying for you, praying for Mike Gallagher, praying for Sebastian Gorka, praying for your wife, Peg, praying for everyone, all the Patriots on that ship. Every day, I would just get a heart from Alexa. Yesterday, I got a very similar text from Alexa, me and a whole list of people who are on the South Carolina delegation up here representing our state. Alexa said the same thing. I'm going to be praying for your safety. I'm going to be praying for our country, and I'll be praying for President Trump. So each morning, I'm just going to text you a heart, and you know that I'm praying. Well, isn't that a great message? And so when I get that heart, I know that Alexa and probably others within her circle are praying for my safety and praying for our country, and that's important. That's what we have to do. Michael says he was not supposed to miss. I'm concerned it was definitely an inside job. Michael, who knows? Again, it's way too early for us to be speculating what it was. I mean, again, you got a 20-year-old with no training. So was he just acting on his own, or was he doing this for someone else? We'll eventually know. I think we'll know more about this young man. Chris says the man gets shot and still does not want to leave the stage. You're right, Chris. But unfortunately, this is exactly what my worst fear has been, Joey. They will stop at nothing to get him off the ballot. That includes killing him. This scares me to death. Chris, again, we got to pray. We pray for his safety. We pray that, and God had a hand in that on Saturday. But again, a split second, anything that changed, the way he moved his head, the way he leaned into the microphone, had he not done exactly what he did at that very moment, we would have had a different outcome. You and I will be having a different conversation right now. I don't know that I would even be in Milwaukee if, unfortunately, this young man had succeeded in what he set out to do. But God had a hedge of protection around Donald Trump, which tells me that God still favors our country. And we got to keep praying for him. Jordan says, hey, Joey, I'm not knocking PhD weight loss at all. Well, thank you for not doing that. You know how I feel about PhD weight loss. Says, but I have an even better solution for weight loss. Just keep voting Democrat. Face it, with everything we've seen in almost 4 years, if you can't afford groceries, you can't gain weight. Trump 2024, his slogan should be Make America Affordable Again. A good point there, Jordan. You're right. If you can't afford the food, you can't eat it and gain weight. But I don't think that's exactly what Dr. Ashley Lucas and the team over at PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition have in mind. But thanks for your text anyway. Jeff says, Joe Biden talks about his legacy. That's a legacy I do not want stealing from from Americans' money and from China. And look at the world today. We lost 17 Americans pulling out of Afghanistan. I mean, he is the worst president ever. I will not disagree with you, Jeff. Your comments are welcome as well. Text me, email me, joey@joeyhudson.com. Always love to hear from you. But boy, we got a lot to do this week, and it's going to be quite interesting. By the way, let me take just a few minutes before we wrap up here today. The firefighter who was at the Trump rally who lost his life. Again, this should never happen in our country. A person, a family goes to a political rally to support the man that they want to be our next president, should be able to go home with his family. The victim was identified as firefighter Corey Comparator. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Comparator. He's 50 years old, from Pennsylvania, struck by a bullet during this assassination attempt on Trump. Governor Josh Shapiro said during a press conference that Comparator died a hero, and that he did. Governor Shapiro said his wife shared with me that he dove on his family to protect them. And that's what a father does. And that's what a hero does. And yes, he was a hero. 2 other rally attendees also struck at the event, currently in critical condition. Shapiro described Comparator as a girl dad and pillar of the community. He said, Corey was the very best of us. May his memory be a blessing. Last night was shocking for this community and for this Commonwealth, and I know for this country. Political disagreements can never, ever be addressed through violence. Disagreements are okay, but we need to use a peaceful political process to settle those differences. And he's right. The victim's sister, Dawn Comparator Schaefer, wrote in a Facebook post that Corey was a hero that shielded his daughters, and others have commented as well. She said, my baby brother just turned 50 and had so much life left to experience. Hatred has no limits, and love has no bounds. Pray for my sister-in-law, nieces, my mother, sister, me, his nieces and nephews, as this feels a terrible nightmare, but we know it's our painful reality. God bless his family.
That's it for today's edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined our mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Just click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, find me on YouTube. Be sure and like, subscribe, follow me on my YouTube channel. Just search for Joey Hudson. Appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with me. Be sure and forward this edition of Just the Truth to some friends. Just click on the share button. Send it to a few of your contacts, because if we're going to build our community and if we're going to win in November, we got to build an army of conservatives. The way we beat Joe Biden is through educating people, and no better way than encouraging them to listen to Just the Truth. Hey, keep those comments coming via the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Your emails always welcome as well. Joey@joeyhudson.com. Don't forget to take advantage of the MyPillow special, $25 for the My Towels 6-piece towel set when you use promo code Joey. Just go to mypillow.com.